Greetings, my fellow freedom sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to LL3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful, wonderful, known as Planet Earth. And today's date is Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. Yeah, I take some time off, structuring and all that good stuff. I'm out and about, roaming and all that. So, keep everything low-key for the time being. We always got folks that are real curious. Just imagine. That's why I do audio. But it's all well and good. Yeah, looks like some people are maybe getting in trouble. Being exposed. Looks like Maricopa election official resigned for shooting his mouth, and a person from the FDA said we needed to blow darts, drone darts, on people that want to be unvaccinated. And, some of these people, they act real tough. And the question is, will they ever do it themselves without any authoritarian assistance? Let's see how far they go. Let that sink in, right? Absolutely. Well, without further ado, I'm just going to be, I just got this today by the Rutherford Institute from the front lines. You should check them out, rutherford.org. If you do a donation, become a supporting member, that'd be great. They give you information. And this is what it says here. Rutherford Institute joins coalition to curb executive branch power and presidential overreach, restores checks and balances. Rutherford Institute, as a part of a coalition of more than 150 groups, is calling on Congress to curb executive branch power, prevent future presidential abuses of power, restore checks and balances, and protect elections from foreign interference. The coalition's open letter to Congress comes in response to Protecting Our Democracy Act, a bill introduced by Adam Schiff, more than 100 co-sponsors. Well, more federal overreach, right? Yay! We're a democracy because we say so. Well, we'll carry on here. Abuse of powers and the ambition-fueled hypocrisy and deliberate disregard for misconduct that make those abuses possible work the same to no matter what party is in power. The rule of law, i.e., adhering to core legal principles over partisan politics, means that no one, including the president, gets special treatment in the eyes of the law. The constitutional attorney John W. Whitehead, president of the Rutherford Institute and author of Battlefield America, The War on the American People. Give any one person or government agency too much power and allow them to believe they are entitled, untouchable, and uncountable for their actions, and those powers will eventually be abused. We must guard against this imperial tyranny most of all. For decades, congressional authority has been undetermined by the executive branch, diminishing the ability of Congress to fulfill its constitutional duties to protect the rule of law and to hold all presidents accountable for overreaches and abuses of power. Protecting Our Democracy Act strives to restore the power the founders vested in the legislative branch to serve as a check on the executive without infringing upon the president's constitutional powers. Among the reforms, this bill would strengthen Congress's ability to oversee the executive branch by fortifying congressional subpoena power by providing expedient consideration of subpoena enforcement by courts. Ensure inspectors general are qualified and empowered to hold federal agencies and accountable without fear of reprisal. Ensure whistleblowers can continue shining light on corruption and abuses of power that betray the public trust by enhancing protections against retaliation, providing legal defenses for whistleblowers against civil and criminal liability, and allowing the whistleblowers to have their day in court. Reinforce Congress's constitutional powers, over spending and the power of the purse by requiring the Office of Management and Budget to make public basic information about the management of federal funds and reporting to Congress to ensure those funds are spent in accordance with the law. Strengthen the Hatch Act to protect federal agencies from being used for political purposes to ensure senior political appointees are held accountable under the law the same way other federal employers are. and prevent abuse of the president's pardon power by increasing transparency of the pardon process, prohibiting self-pardons by the president, and clarifying that pardons are official acts for the purpose of federal bribery statute. So, of course, they're a nonprofit organization. Interesting stuff there. But remember, we're not a democracy, but a constitutional republic. Remember, it's Adam Schiff. They do, and a lot of these people, they do it out of their own convenience. It's usually the faction game, because based on their voting record. Excuse me here. So, see what this letter has to say on this matter. And it says here, came out yesterday, it says, Dear members of Congress, the undersigned organizations, on behalf of the millions of Americans our groups collectively represent, we urge you to support and pass the Protecting Our Democracy Act. For decades, congressional authority has been undermined by the executive branch, diminishing the ability of Congress to fulfill its constitutional duties to protect the rule of law and to hold presidents accountable for overreaches and abuses of power. The last time Congress passed significant reform to protect our democracy from abuses of executive power was after the Watergate scandal. The time has come for new guardrails to reassert Congress' role as an equal branch of government. Today, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle and both in chambers have an interest in restoring the checks and balances entrusted to them in our Constitution. Protecting Our Democracy Act would do just that by restoring the powers of the founders vested in the legislative branch to serve as a check on the executive without infringing upon the president's constitutional powers. Among other reforms, this historic bill would strengthen Congress's ability to oversee the executive branch by fortifying congressional subpoena power, by providing expedient consideration of subpoena enforcement by courts, so the executive branch cannot run out of the clock on congressional oversight. Ensure inspectors general are qualified and empowered to hold federal agencies accountable without fear of reprisal by requiring the president to have good cause for removing an inspector general and enhancing reporting requirements when there is a vacancy. Ensure whistleblowers can continue shining light on corruption and abuses of power that betray the public trust by enhancing protections against retaliation, providing legal defenses for whistleblowers against civil and criminal liability, and allowing whistleblowers to have their day in court. Reinforce Congress's constitutional powers overspending and the power of the purse by requiring the Office of Management and Budget to make public basic information about the management of federal funds and reporting to Congress to ensure those funds are spent in accordance with the law. Prevent political interference with the U.S. Department of Justice by putting a permanent statutory requirement in place that will ensure transparency and accountability related to their communications with the White House. Strengthen the Hatch Act to protect federal agencies from being used for political purposes and ensure senior political appointees are held accountable under the law the same way other employees are. Prevent abuse of the president's pardon power by increasing transparency of the pardon process, prohibiting self-pardons by the president, and clarifying that pardons are official acts for the purpose of federal bribery statute. Provide for enforcement of the domestic and foreign emoluments clauses of the Constitution and prevent a president from profiting from payments by foreign or domestic governments. You should do that to Congress as well. And serve and secure our elections from foreign interference by ensuring political campaigns are informed of the law banning foreign interference and are prepared to comply and report any attempts of foreign interference. In this perilous moment for our republic, we believe it should be a top priority for this Congress to repair our democracy, including ensuring that no future president is permitted to abuse the power of their office. If enacted, the Protecting Our Democracy Act would protect against future presidential abuses of power, restore the integrity of our democratic institutions, and ensure transparency from the chief executive. Given the urgency of this crisis and for their reasons, we call on you to swiftly pass this critical legislation. There's a big list on here. 2020 Vision, American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, Asian Law Alliance, Beyond the Arc, Blacks in Law Enforcement of America, Brave New Films. Just giving you, I'm not going to do every single one here, but I'm just giving you some examples. Of course, Center for Progressive Reform, Clean Election Texas, Corruption Kills, and of course, Democracy Matters, Equal Justice Society, Fix the Court, Free Speech Coalition, Free Speech for People, Greenpeace. Yeah, there's some globalist institutions in here, respectfully. Hip Hop Caucus, of course, Keep Our Republic, and Institute for Constitutional Advocacy for Protection, Georgetown Law, Move On, Muslim American Law Enforcement Association, National Whistleblower Center, Whistleblower Network News. Oh, yeah. So we just go on. Of course, Project Blueprint, Public Citizen, Republicans for the Rule of Law. So you got Rock the Vote. So you got various groups in here, which is cool. Sloan Center. So that's a good thing. Like I said, maybe I question some of these institutions, but I'm not saying the people in rank and file are bad as well. You got good folks in these organizations. Of course, the Rutherford Institute's in there as well. The Press Freedom Defense Fund of First Look Institute. Voice Vets. Win Without a War. So, that's all well and good. If it does, the whole thing is president abuse has been going on for a very, very long time. And, of course, Congress's responsibility. They let these certain laws go through. So, it's based on congressional history. And that should have never happened. It should be all under the U.S. Constitution, period. Self-explanatory. Bigger government and all that was a big disturbance. So, there's some repercussions. I say this. They could do it for the president. You can do it for the Congress as well. That's essential. And, of course, we got nullification. 10th Amendment. States' rights. You can even look at the states of Virginia and Kentucky resolutions from 1798. And another one, too. George Washington's farewell address is good to examine. And always remember Anti-Commandeering Doctrine. Federalist Papers 46, written by James Madison. So there's multiple angles on diffusing the power, whether it's president, Congress, etc. But sometimes you got something like Peter Schiff, which he's a shifty-eyed guy, okay? Very shifty. It was convenient for him, because there's, of course, rumors are going around. Even the audits, maybe, like, everyone's waiting for that audit. It's supposed to be tomorrow. So, it's not going to happen overnight. You got to think everything long-term, folks. All right? That's a fact. Everything has to be long view. And, it's going to be interesting. So, let's see how far this baby goes. And I recommend people reading it in its entirety, see how authentic it is, the pros and cons, and if it's a bundle amendment, etc. That'll be a good thing to start. So, what's your intake on this? You can share your views. That'd be great. All right. Well, that'll be it. I'd like to thank you for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or you want to send something interesting you want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to Quorum. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnote of this article on my speaker page. If you want to contact me, you go via email, lookyluck03 at protonmail.com, or whatever. If you want to donate, you go to paypal.me or cash.app/lookyluck3. Okay, well, and if you want to support the Rutherford Institute, you can donate and tell them Loki Luck the Third sent you. That'd be great. Alright, once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.